Okay, so let's go to Android Studio. If you didn't yet open it, uh, just open it, and we will create a new project. I already did it here, but you already know how to do it. So you're going to new project. Please select basic activity this time. We are not going to write any code, but at least I want you to show everything in full detail. So select basic activity. Then next, just you can leave it like this, or you can just give a name and then press finish. I already did that, as it is simple. I guess you can do that too. Okay, so you will see the layout, Android Studio layout as usual. While it is opening, I will also show you the resources that you can use actually for that. So for example, today we will talk about different configurations. As I said, you can just Google it. The developerandroid.com has documentations, and it has a lot of information. You can also find sample apps. You can just Google supporting languages, or supporting different screen sizes for Android, and you will eventually end up in the site. So for example, it's here and it talks about how to put different languages into your application, or how to support different screen sizes. I will briefly show these things to you, and whenever we will have time, you can also play with them separately. So I guess right now your Android Studio project should be open. At least I'm hoping so. So once we go in here, inside the app folder, you can see our project is here. I told you before, but in Java folder, we have our code, project code. I'm not going to change any code, so for now it's okay. In res, we have all our resources. So since you open it with a predefined project, there are already some icons, layouts, strings, and everything you might need. For example, in the drawable folder, we have defined vectors as you can also see here in the site. You can see the design of this vector. You can split the view to see the code, and you can only check the code. In the layout below that, we have the layouts that are already predefined for us. What is layout, for example? If we will get inside here, you can see this screen design. So this is a predefined screen for our project for now, which is having a next button and another, it's called fab button here defined. You can actually see the code here, how it's defined. We will get into the details of these layouts, so don't worry about them. I'm just showing how to see what's happening there. You can also split the view as the same way. So while like you will be looking over here, you can see like things like, for example, Android background color primary. It says so. This is a predefined color, for example. Or here on layout height, which is defining the height of this view, there is an action bar size. Here you can see in the floating action button, there is a margin that is defined as, if you click it, you will see it's defined as fab margin. These are all coming from the resources folder, and these supposed to be defined by us actually. So basically you are defining in the values here, there are these XML files. If you will get inside here, it is colors XML, for example. We have all the colors that's needed or that we're gonna use. In the dimensions, we have dimensions, which is, for example, for that specific button that you saw previously, there is this fab margin defined as 16 dp. So what does this dp means? Let's talk about this. Actually, the usual parameter for the screens in Android is it's defined as pixels, and dp means the pixel density, because all devices has different sizes. It could be an Android tablet, it could be a like big screen-sized phone and stuff like that. So we don't actually know where some specific button would be or an image will be shown. So we have this thing defined as a way that in all phones it will be pretty much in the same place. So so according to the density of the screen, this will be this specific thing will be the 16th of that place. It could be the size of that thing. So it will be, if the screen is, let's say, 300 pixels, then it will be 16 of them, like pretty much 5% of the screen, for example, or less. So we are defining those things. And for this, another thing would be for text, while defining strings, texts that we're gonna use, we are using SP as a value, which means scalable pixel, because as you know, text can be scaled. It's not an image, it's not a resource that should be someplace, but you can use DP for everything. At least that's what you need to know. As you can see, we have also strings XML here, which defines all the strings that are used in our application, which is basically consists of a name here and a value. So what does this mean? It's like, for example, the name, this thing call to next has the text next with capital N. So this is the actual value that's going to be shown to the user. And this is the key of this value. And these are all defined in English, as you can see. So what we can do as a practice is to define them for another language. So how are we going to do that? Which we need to create another strings XML, basically, for that language, specific language we want to. So in order to do that, I'm going to the stress folder, right-clicking, then saying new. Then first I'm creating a folder, which is Android resource directory. We go there and let's say we want to create the language of Spanish. I don't know Spanish, by the way, but whatever. So we are adding values as folder here, which is S is the Spain language code, which you can also reach that here in this developer site. As an example, they also use Spanish language, and they are telling how to do that. You can also check the language country codes just from Google. Just write the country code and the country you want to check, actually. So let's go back to Android Studio. So S is the language code of Spanish, basically. So let's create this folder. We create it. But the weird thing is that you cannot see the folder that we created here, because this is Android view here, which only shows it's not the folder view. It is showing the files. And this is an empty folder we created. So in order to see the files, I'm switching here from Android to, let's say, project view. I'm going back. This is showing you, as you would see in your laptop, basically, if you will go to that directory. And here you can see the created folder, values S. And here I need to create another strings file in order to just do it. So I right-clicked on values S, go here, and then I pressed values resource file, which I will create strings. Okay, so I created another strings file as we are having here in the values. These are the default values of the application. So if I will go here, we have those things. Let's get the string, for example, and make it Spanish, okay? I'm just copying, pasting this. Going to this strings XML for Spanish. Just pasting for now. So we need to have the first key same everywhere in this both XML files. But this is the language that we are going to use. So this is going to be shown to the screen, the value. So we are changing to Hola, okay? We just defined the English and the Spanish language for this specific string. I mean, you can just do it for other things too, but I will not do it for now. And if you will just change this view to back to Android again, you could have seen those inside strings. We have strings for English. This is default language, and for Spanish here. A same way of very similar to this, we also have drawables. We have a folder called drawable. So, this contains the images that they are going to be used inside the app. If you will go here to MIP map, for example, we have launcher icons here, and you can see that we have 6 of them. Let's click to them, all of them. So there is this MDPI, meaning middle density, pixel density. There's this HDPI, high density, XHDPI. So these are actually all different folders containing different images, which are a bit bigger than each other. And these are all defining different Android devices, getting into this category, and you don't even actually need to know which devices are like getting into this category. You just need to know that either you need to define 5 of the same images, like with bigger sizes, or there's another way of doing this, which is defining a vector for the images that we want to use. So I can show you, as I show you in the language. So let's go to project view. You can see that there are actually 5 folders that are having images. They are all different sizes, as you can see. You can just copy paste them from somewhere, but like these are already auto-generated, as you can see. And these are defining our images for different devices, same way as languages. And you don't need to care if, because Android system already handles it for us, both the language and the sizes. Okay, so we have 5 minutes left. Maybe I can get some questions from you. But at the same time, just don't forget that you can get all support and more details in this links that I'm going to provide as well, which is written by Android developers, actually, basically telling you the same things, telling about the definition of the DP or SP, what does all those mean, how you can, as you can see, define those images, what does all these things means. You don't need to know in depth for now, because we are not going to create a project right away. But at least if you can understand these folders, that would be nice. So yes, I can have questions right now.
So please, I need to test this changing text to see the Spanish language. How to see this on simulator?
Yeah, so you need to change your language in the phone, actually. So if you will go to settings in Android, you just need to go to language settings and change your whole phone's language to Spanish. Then if you will just close the application and open again, it will automatically get loaded with the Spanish text that you define, or it could be in a language, actually.
Okay, thank you.
There are some differences between, for example, the Arabic language is like written backwards somehow, like, so there are some more to it, actually. But I mean, this is a very deep subject right now. We cannot talk about this right away. But yeah, there are some different things related with this. By the way, another thing I guess I missed to tell you previously, like if you will just check also this top bar in Android Studio, you can see you saw actually this build that's showing if the build is successful or not. There is this terminal, which I will not get into this, and there is also this logcat. This is also something important that you might use while debugging or using your app, which is actually showing all the output that your phone is giving. While testing, you will also use this in the later classes. Just so you know, we will talk this later in the future.